Thank you very much for coming. Yeah, haven't been around here for too much, but today maybe was my longest day so far. Anyway, I'm very happy to be here, and yeah, I'm going to be presenting my work. My work as a part of my work as a member of an artist group. So yeah, I am an architect. I am a lecturer, and I would say I wouldn't call me an artist because that's kind of a big name for me, for at least in Spanish. But I do artwork, and since that's maybe the most interesting part of my practice, and maybe the most different part from my academic work, that's what I'm going to be talking about today. It's certainly the most fun part of my work as well. Yeah, so let's get started. And I will be telling about this group as we move on. This is in fact a brick car. It's made out of bricks and solid bricks, and it weighs 5 tons. It is as expensive as a regular car, maybe more, if you consider that it cannot move. Although it was parked for several months on the street, and it became quite a popular, let's say, item, or we can call it a public piece of art, perhaps. Well, yeah, I question myself: is this ephemeral architecture? Well, I wouldn't say so. It's rather not ephemeral because it's massive, and rather not architecture because it's quite solid. I mean, you can't even enter the car. Although it has some sort of interior that you cannot access. It's made out of a steel frame and traditional brickwork. As a matter of fact, it was made out of a brick master. And it's more of a, yeah, as I say, it's more of a conceptual piece of work. It was made at the very beginning of the crisis in Spain. What was called the brick crisis, because it mostly came after or following the construction boom, a construction boom that exploded at certain point. We were just building too much, and there was too much speculation running with all that building. Many of those houses were just not being occupied; they were just bought to speculate. So this kind of situation gave us the base to deliver this piece of work, which was made out of bricks, which it doesn't make any sense to have a car made out of bricks, but it does, in a way, make you think a little bit about what is happening. We thought that it could develop into a whole collection of public brick art, but fortunately that didn't happen, and we stop here. And I'm going to be introducing, or maybe following my work with some more interesting works from more interesting artists or real artists, if you want to. Because, yeah, no matter how hard I try, I always find another one who has done it before, who has done it better, and a long time ago. So, yeah. Sometimes it happens before, other afters, but it's always there. So yes, a very important Fluxus artist named Vostel, is a German guy, did this concrete car a long time ago, which, as I said, far more interesting than ours, and a long time before. This one has a real car inside, so what they did was build a formwork around a real Cadillac and just pour concrete in between both the formwork and the real Cadillac. Well, this Vostel was, as a matter of fact, maybe one of the pioneers or the very early artists who started doing work in the streets. What's so-called performance, or you could say participative kind of events, and this was one of those. So for me, for us, for my group, which is a compound of 4 members right now, 2 architects, 1 web designer, and 1 journalist. This guy is quite a precedent. He did many other interesting work. Here we have this lipstick bomber. So yeah, it's kind of a lipstick bomber, as you can see. Always with sense of humor. That is a key aspect in our work, and that's an aspect I tremendously value in our work. Sense of humor, and always working also with the context or with the recontextualization of objects, and that gives those objects through that association a new meaning. So yeah, can lipstick be a weapon? It certainly can. Let's try to move into ephemeral architecture. What is ephemeral? Ephemeral is something that lasts for a very short time, like pleasures. Pleasures are called so because they last for a very, very short period of time. So ephemeral architecture could be, or for me, are like ephemeral pleasures. And let me introduce with this guy. I don't know how to pronounce this guy. Is that Diogenes? How would you call this? Do you know this guy? Diogenes. Thank you. Well, this guy there is this syndrome, this sickness that these people that collect every kind of stuff, we call that they suffer from the Diogenes disease. Is that how you say it? People that collect, it's unable to throw away stuff, and they end up collecting thousands of things in their apartments, and cats, and plastic bags, and all newspapers, until it's just no way to enter the apartment. Well, all this comes from Diogenes. I already forgot how to pronounce it. Who was quite the opposite. This guy wasn't homeless. That is his home, so he did have a home. This guy was a philosopher. And what he was promoting, or was quite the opposite, is to live with as few things as possible. Okay? So he said that no man needed much, and so he did not live in a house, but sleep in a barrel, which he rolled about from place to place. That for me is an ephemeral pleasure, certainly an ephemeral architecture. Yeah, and people would walk into him to ask him for advice. So this is a very interesting tale from Alexander the Great. Both guys were from Macedonia, so it's a pity we don't have here our Macedonian member of staff, because he would like this. So this Alexander the Great heard of Diogenes, and he went and asked, I have heard a great deal about you. Is there anything I can do for you? And yes, Diogenes said, you can step aside a little so as not to keep the sunshine from me. This was the kind of advice that Diogenes would deliver to Alexander. And the soldiers said, shall we kill him? He has really challenged you and said, no. If someday I stop being Alexander, I would like to be like Diogenes. Huh? And many other tales from Diogenes, but what I want to say now, if I can deal with this Mac computer, is is this work. It's one of our very early works. All right, so yeah, as a matter of fact, it's a swimmer in the dumpster. And in a cold October, this is another hemisphere, so it's rather chilly. And it was also done in Belfast, which was rather cheap as well. And this guy, although this is a GIF, animated GIF, it was real, no trick here. I was swimming for 15 minutes. But in 2000, video was not such an easy thing on the internet, so animated GIF was an easier way to present this work. And it certainly has a flavor from the 2000. So we don't want to change it for the video. We just like the animation as it is. Just 6 frames, and that's good enough to explain something. So the guy was not moving. He was swimming, but not moving forward because he was tied from his chest to the side of the dumpster. What I find in common here with it's this thing of the container. How can we transform stuff that is everyday stuff that is used for different purpose? How can we rethink the way we use that everyday elements and use them perhaps in a different context in terms of physical, or as in this case, because this is the standard position for this kind of dumpster in the Madrid streets, more as a change in the context or the way we use it. So what usually is a dumpster to throw just material from construction becomes an opportunity to exercise yourself and just make all the people on the street very surprised and ask the magic question, which is, why are you doing that? All right, move forward. Another interesting introduction. This is Bruno Munari, a very, very interesting Italian designer. And he also was a teacher. A teacher at several very interesting and important design schools. And he's trying to seek comfort in an uncomfortable chair. So we have again a very interesting range of positions. Again, trying to rethink the way we use an ordinary or an element, an everyday piece of furniture, and trying to see if we can make the best out of it. Although it doesn't seem like he's succeeding. Maybe it's better to go back to the standard position. I'd like to use that one to introduce this piece of work, which is a bus stop. It's a bus stop in Baltimore that we did build in Baltimore a year and a half ago. Well, this was kind of a community design, or I don't know how you call it there, but the whole neighborhood was involved. As a matter of fact, they turned down several original proposals until they did like this one. I understand the first one was a void into a solid concrete block, and the void had the shape of a naked woman sculpted into bronze. Although it was not graphic, it wasn't pornographic at all, it was just some kind of abstract volume trying to recall classical sculptors. Well, they thought that was not family appropriate or family friendly. So we went into this one, which has become quite an icon in the neighborhood. But was particularly fun was to get there to Baltimore, because we did go and join some local artists and put together the bus, these 4 meter high letters, and just screw nut and bolt all the timber on that steel structure, and then the outcome was quite impressive, and yeah, it worked, but you still need to find you still need to find comfort in that bus stop. Huh? It does provide some shelter for rain. It's obviously a bus stop, so everybody identifies it's becoming some sort of an icon in the neighborhood. Yeah, but you need to seek for comfort in this, and that's perhaps the fun part of it. And maybe a more interesting thing or precedent or reference for this work is that one that we can find in the book from Venturi about Las Vegas. He says some buildings are what they are, others are only what they appear to be. The formers, the ones that appear to be, are ducks, or he calls them ducks. And the others are, or is that the other way around? Formers. Well, let's stick. Some are ducks, and the other are decorated sets. Obviously, this is a duck, and obviously, this is a duck too. So, yeah, it is not such a decorated set here, and maybe that's what is interesting about this bus stop, that it is a duck, and everybody sees the duck. Okay, so yeah, some people has criticized it and said that you don't need to build a duck to sell eggs, right? Or to sell Peking duck. But in some cases, when we are talking of such a simple architecture as a bus stop, in such a case, maybe it does make sense, because this works as a bus stop, but it also works as a sign that people in the neighborhood recognize, as a sign that maybe people who would like to see more public transportation in the States recognizes. I have to tell you, if you look for a bus stop, if you are looking for a bus, then you first need to find a bus stop. And in the States, this is nearly impossible. Bus stops, they don't even have their own pole. They are just a plate, no larger than a license plate, attached to a traffic light or attached to a street light or something like that. So public transportation in the United States is it's below below my feet, or is a really terrible level. So this has become a sign for the use of buses. Okay, so if you need to more clear understanding of what ducks and decorated sets are, just don't use this PowerPoint or don't listen to me. Go and read the original Venturi, that I'm sure will be much better. All right, this is a duck, certainly. And as I said, it's becoming some sort of a icon or meeting point, or let's go and do things there. People get married and go there and take this picture. And there is a website that does that. All right, another one of my favorites. This is a way of describing something just by using part of that thing. This is a way of describing a room, not by drawing the room, by drawing the stuff that there is in the room. And that's something that really interests me, and I think it's this drawing on the right has, imagine you remove all the stuff from the left and you keep the standard architectural drawing, as with the door and the walls and all that, right? And none of the stuff. I think this really talks much better about the room. This really let us know that that's a room. Even without the walls, we know where the window is, where the door is, or we can imagine it. It's talking about the activity, about the activity, which is, well, what we try to focus on when we do this kind of thing. And it's also one of my main interests when in my works, also the pure architectural ones. So this is another piece of work we did in the States also, and it's called the meeting balls. So these are public furniture as well, but these are balls. They are gigantic balls that up to 8 people can enter in these balls and they actually rock. So whenever someone steps into the ball, the ball rocks a bit, and that just the beginning of a conversation. The context was also very important. So in order to do that, I'll try to do this again. So Times Square is quite a busy context. And so we were thinking, this was also the second project that we delivered. So the first one opened the door for us, but then again they said this is not family friendly, and this was not about nudity this time. So we delivered this one, and this one went through, and so we got to do it. But we were thinking about this just too strong, unfriendly, confusing. It just was impossible to talk to anybody in this place. But at the same time, it was crowded. I mean, I had a feeling if you forgot some, how do you call it, a shoe there, is that the, shoeing? What do you need used to clean the floor? Sweep. Yeah. So if you leave the sweep in Times Square, somebody will grab it and start sweeping. Because so many people, and anything that you drop there will work, I think. So they said, let's drop the meeting balls. And they did work so well. They were always crowded and packed with people. And actually meeting was happening. People did meet inside this kind of ball. Maybe just because they were round, maybe because they saw each other's faces. Some people just stepped in because they were exhausted tourists that couldn't keep on walking, and in the meantime they would meet somebody and start talking. As a matter of fact, a young German tourist said they were coming every day because this was far more effective to meet girls than going into the disco. And it's true story. So those were the meeting balls. Let's see something else. Okay. This is this might be my last example. These are musicians, scattered musicians in an old town. That's exactly what it is. Just to explain it, that this is kind of a long jump, but since we are in an architectural environment, we can make it to the other side. This is from Bern Schumi. You should all know what this is. This is the competition for the Parc de la Villette in Paris, the one which won, the one which was actually built. So what this guy did was split the program into small dots, creating some sort of a matrix. And split it into this pattern across the park. All right, so he chopped into pieces all the program, which originally was kind of conceived to be compact or grouped into some sort of a more active area of the park, and he just deliberately cut into pieces and split it. Try to extend the flavor, the taste of this activity. And to achieve to mix it all over the park. And certainly not in such a brilliant way, but we try to do this with the scatter orchestra. Huh? So we did split an orchestra through the center of a medieval city, and we made them play. We made them play at the same time, synchronize, and that was a key aspect. Let me show you. Well, the key aspect here was, as I was saying, to synchronize all the musicians. They were playing the same melody, but they were far away from each other. There was not such a thing as a director synchronizing and contacting all the guys in order to play together. They could hear some instruments because as you walk through the city, the melody would walk with you. So you could kind of follow the music as you walk through the street. But they needed to play at the same time. So what we did, we bring in a radio station to broadcast the music, and all the musicians were listening through headphones to the broadcasting. And that's how they did synchronize to each other. This was a young orchestra. It was under 18 years old, and that's the only kind of musicians we were able to bring into the project, because this is some sort of it's not nice to do this to a good piece of music. To break into pieces and to kind of destroy it, and you need to rearrange some parts of it, so all the instruments are playing most of the time, so the melody carries on and it's connected as you walk. But obviously we don't know much about music, so the young, also under 18 years old, director of the orchestra was the one who took care of choosing the pieces, arranging the different, how do you call it, music letter for each instrument, the music chart for each instrument, and also, and this is very important, and we didn't think about it, to place the particular instrument in a particular place. So the noisy instruments like the drums and that kind of stuff was on the edge of the grid. While the more quiet, the violin, the nice violin were set in the middle. So the loud instruments kind of embrace all the sound together from the edge of the situation. More quiet streets for more particular instruments and so on. This is my favorite. This is the nutcracker. Okay. Yeah, well, I think that's enough. If you have any questions, I have more periods, but it's already almost 8. But I'm happy to answer a question, of course, or two. And if you want to just sneak into the website and
Say the URL. What's the URL of the website?
Sorry? The website is 4Ms, M4Ms, and dots. This is because it's an international name. Anybody can understand it, and also because it depends on your mood. So it's not the same as So it also changes a lot. So it doesn't have any particular meaning, or it's whatever you put into it. Okay. So it's a M, at TV, because com was already taken. It's 1999. It was already taken. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, mmm.tv, or yeah, that's not what I said, right? Yeah, mmm.tv.
What's been the most enjoyable project for you?
Well, of the last ones, the bus stop, because we got there to build it and it was so fun. We were there for a month and we went to see the Falling Water house. And I was already living in China, so it was an opportunity to meet my fellow group again, to stay there for a long time. We met these American artists, which was great fun, and they took. Yeah, and then there's been others, yeah, but that one was great fun.
You said all your work, you feel like has to contain humor. Out of the rest sorry, you said all your work has to contain humor.
Humor, yeah.
Yes. Why particularly humor as sort of an aspect that you chose to have?
Why humor?
Yeah.
Why? I think because it's engaging, because it's entertaining, it's fun, and it's also, I think, keeps your mind in a good state, in a healthy state, but also in a is closely related to imagination as well. Although I have to say, one of my favorite projects came from a day in which I was in a very, very bad mood. I was we were extremely mad, and that led us to produce a very good project as well. Yeah, but I don't know. I think there are many aspects as irony, as humor, that are extremely creative, I think. And as I said, it sets your mind in the right move to be open, to think about stuff, to be creative, to communicate. So I think it serves many aspects with our work. And I think humor is not easy to produce, and it's an intelligent component. Great. Well, thank you very much.